And on the Rural Radio Network, here with a check of your Midwest sheep and goat market. And your Midwest sheep and goat market report is brought to you by Moline Seed and Fence. They're proud to sponsor the Midwest sheep and goat market report. Moline Seed and Fence is your local dealer for Riviera custom gates, goat and sheep pens, along with Mountain View sheep and goat equipment. You can check out all of their products at MolineSeedandFence.com. That's MolineSeedandFence.com. For the week ending September 30th, turning the calendar into October, the Midwest sheep and goat market may be best described as steady to somewhat fractured as to where we saw higher and lower prices across the region and across livestock complexes in themselves. Several sales noted that prime medium weight slaughter lambs may be $10 to $20 stronger at times. On the other hand, lightweight slaughter and feeding lambs softer by $10 a hundredweight, clear down to $30 a hundredweight lower. For the most part, goats saw fairly steady to slightly stronger prices this week. Those big wethers and bucks may be 10 to 15 off in some of the sales. Ethnic holiday buying is likely done for a while as the Muslim faith prophet's birthday is celebrated October 7th through the 8th, so that one is soon to be back behind us, and then we're kind of looking into December out into 2023 for ethnic holiday demand. From a consumer perspective, this week, though, was good with the Bureau of Economic Analysis showing that the average consumer in the U.S. made more money in August than they did in July of this year and August of last year. The average consumer also spent more in the month of August than they did in the previous month and previous year. That continues to support higher lamb and goat prices as consumers still want their favorite protein. Other data out this week included the quarterly hog and pig report, and while that has little to do with the sheep and goat market, it is another piece of data showing that as a whole, the livestock herd in the U.S. is shrinking. USDA noted that both breeding and market hogs in the U.S. were down 1% than they were a year ago. Not a dramatic drop by any means, but a drop nonetheless. This lines up with the cattle inventory report we saw back in June, and we've seen it show similar declines. For sheep and goats, we only get a yearly report, but that goes back to January, where USDA showed a 1% decline in U.S. sheep and a 2% decline in the U.S. goat herd. A combination of drought, rising input prices is likely to keep pressure on the overall stock numbers as well, and that bodes longer for more of a longer-term trend support to the market if there just is less available supply. Now, coming to your highlighted quotes this week, we saw Colby Livestock selling 3 head of those 85-pound boar slaughter goats. They sold for $325 a hundredweight. That's $276.25 a head. Colby also sold 6 white-face 53-pound lambs for $245 a hundredweight or $130 a head. Producers Livestock in Texas sold 16 head of 37-pound hair lambs for $303 a hundredweight. That's $111 a head. Producers also sold 42 head of 46-pound slaughter goats for $370 a hundredweight or $170 a head. Kelowna, Iowa sold 17 head of 55-pound slaughter lambs for $262 a hundredweight or $144 a head. The upper end of that draft in Kelowna brought $275 a hundredweight. That's $151 a head. Centennial Livestock sold 7 head of open yearling replacement hair ewes weighing 82 pounds for $250 a head. Centennial Livestock also topped the goat market. In one particular lot, though, 4 head, 40-pound slaughter goats, they brought $500 a hundredweight. That's $200 a head. Didn't see anything else top that this week. USDA retail meat data for the week ending September 30th showed that the lamb and veal retail activity index was about 6.2% lower. Feature rates down 3.7%. The special rate down 3.9%. Lamb cuts were 13.5% lower for the week. For the week, roast ads were 84.2% lower. Chop saw 20% less ad space in the circulars. This week, for circulars, though, lamb features did offer more ad space for leg steaks, shank, and stew meat on the lamb side. Other commodity markets for the end user and the livestock feeder mixed to higher at the end of the week. Corn and wheat were definitely higher coming in the end. Soybeans lower. Majority of that rally came in on Friday, though. USDA really shook things up with their quarterly stocks report, which showed the U.S. had a tighter than expected stockpile of corn and wheat. Meanwhile, soybeans were more abundant than traders had expected. Earlier in the week, growing concerns over Russia's continued war with Ukraine left plenty of concerns about Black Sea wheat supplies. Trying to move against the higher grain complex this whole week, though, has been a U.S. dollar pricing brand new 20-year highs in the market. That continues to feed the bears with the likelihood demand will curve as countries cannot afford to import U.S. commodities. The hay market in Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, South Dakota, and Wyoming continues its trek higher, with most classes of hay $10 to $20 higher again this week. Nebraska noted that they saw a heavy increase of out-of-state buyers looking for multiple loads of ready-to-ship hay. Farmers are also trying to bale as much crop residue as possible, with many custom hay operations, advertising heavily to try and get as many acres as possible. Wyoming did note this week more hay is staying in-state, but there's still plenty of out-of-state interest. It's just with trucking and time overall for those who have the ability to truck it, in-state seems to be a little bit better deal right now. And overall, best demand on hay still coming out for that high-quality testing alfalfa. Lamb slaughter this week was estimated 33,000 head through Saturday, unchanged with last week, still down about 4,000 from last year. Year-to-date lamb slaughter 1.31 million head, or 9.1%, or 131,000 head behind the previous year. Live lamb weights were 129 pounds this week, unchanged from last week, but up 5 pounds from last year. Dressed lamb weight 65 pounds on the rail. That's unchanged from last week, still 3 pounds heavier than the previous year. Goat slaughter under federal inspection, latest report there, 9,865 head on the week. Here's your regional price breakdown on the wool lambs: 40 to 70 pounds, 120 to 275 a hundredweight, 70 pounds and up, $100 to $185 a hundredweight. Hair lambs 20 to 40 pounds, $180 to $303 a hundredweight. 40 to 70 pounders, $180 to $318 a hundredweight, 70 pounds and up, $122 to $210 a hundredweight. For the wool ewes on the slaughter side, $55 to $125 a hundredweight. Hair ewes replacement quality, $150 to $275 a head. Slaughter ewes, $100 to $145 a head. Hair rams, $75 to $300 a hundredweight. For the kid goats, 20 to 40 pounds, $250 to $500 a hundredweight. 40 to 70 pounds, $220 to $370 a hundredweight. 70 pounds and up, $220 to $325 a hundredweight. For the wethers, 70 pounds and up, $260 to $355 a hundredweight. Slaughter does, medium to fleshy, $100 to $300 a head. Replacement quality does, $175 to $300 a head. On the slaughter bucks, $125 to $260 a hundredweight. And that is your Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report for the week ending September 30th, heading into October. Have a great day and a great rest of your weekend.